Have you ever wondered why some women choose to engage in deeply intimate acts with their partners, such as oral sex, and what it truly signifies about their relationship? Is it simply about pleasure, or does it reflect something far more meaningful? In this video, we'll explore the insights of a 92-year-old woman who shares profound perspectives on how intimate moments can strengthen emotional and physical bonds, foster trust, and enhance mutual satisfaction. Most men believe they understand what turns a woman on, but few grasp the deeper emotional essence behind her desire to be close. Stay with us through the end, because what you're about to uncover will completely transform how you understand intimacy. You'll learn the true emotional reasons women engage in oral sex, and how that act symbolizes deeper connection, the most common mistake men make that unintentionally erodes intimacy, and how to create a dynamic where she desires closeness, not from pressure, but from genuine emotional desire. If you haven't yet subscribed, we encourage you to click the subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss any of our content. Your support is incredibly valuable. If you find this message meaningful, please give it a thumbs up to help spread the word. I'd love to hear your take on this topic. Drop a 1 in the comments if it resonates with you, or a 0 if it doesn't. Your feedback is a big help in shaping future videos to reflect what matters most to you. Let's dive in. Understanding the emotional roots of female intimacy is essential. For many women, intimacy is not purely about physical gratification. It's deeply intertwined with feelings of emotional closeness, safety, and trust. That's why, when a woman willingly offers herself in an intimate act like oral sex, it often communicates much more than just desire. It reveals emotional vulnerability, connection, and trust. Men often assume attraction is based on physical appeal or bedroom performance, but research and real-life experience show that a woman's desire is directly linked to how emotionally safe and appreciated she feels. When she experiences that emotional warmth, connection blossoms naturally. But when she feels unseen, criticized, or emotionally distant, her longing for physical closeness fades, even if she still loves her partner. This is why some women appear to lose interest in intimacy over time, even while still loving their partners. Imagine a couple who has shared decades together. In the early years, they had passion, spontaneous affection, and a magnetic connection. But as time moved forward, something shifted. She began pulling away, and physical closeness became rare. He was left puzzled. She used to enjoy our time together. What happened? He blamed aging, stress, or hormonal shifts, but more often than not, the real issue is emotional distance. Many women don't verbalize this, but they feel it deeply. Every act of physical intimacy is backed by emotional momentum. When a woman feels acknowledged, cherished, and desired emotionally, she wants to express that physically. On the other hand, if she feels emotionally neglected or underappreciated, the desire withers. And this is the turning point where many men, unknowingly, start to lose their partner. The silent mistake that damages intimacy most is assuming that once love is declared or a life is built together, the emotional connection no longer requires effort. In the beginning, men are often naturally expressive. They listen deeply, plan little surprises, express affection freely. But gradually these efforts fade, not because of a lack of love, but because of life's distractions and routine. And that's when the emotional bond begins to unravel. Women don't typically fall out of love overnight. It's a slow process. When a woman no longer feels prioritized or emotionally valued, she begins to withdraw. When that emotional gap widens, physical closeness becomes less frequent and less fulfilling. Many men don't notice this until it's painfully obvious, often assuming she's just lost interest in sex, not realizing it's rooted in emotional disconnect. Let me share a real example. A man I once spoke to had been married over 30 years. He said, "I don't know what happened. We used to be so close, but now it feels like we're just roommates." When I asked when he last made his wife feel truly valued, he fell silent. Not because he didn't love her, he absolutely did, but because somewhere along the way he stopped showing it. He believed their love was strong enough to stand on its own, but love needs to be nurtured. The hopeful part? This can all be reversed. When a man begins showing his partner how cherished she truly is, emotional warmth returns, and with it, physical closeness. One of the most moving moments I've ever experienced came from a conversation with a 92-year-old woman who had been married for over 60 years. She said, "A woman gives her whole self, body and soul, when she feels safe, adored, and emotionally understood. That one insight holds the key. Intimacy doesn't come from pushing harder or trying to impress. It comes from cultivating the emotional conditions that naturally inspire closeness." Most men think that the solution lies in physical changes, looking younger, staying in shape, or enhancing performance. But that's not what ignites true passion. What draws a woman in is how she feels when she's around you, valued, emotionally secure, and genuinely understood. I met a man in his late 60s who shared something powerful. "My wife and I have the most passionate relationship we've ever had, and it's not about youth or looks. It's because I finally figured out what makes her feel truly loved." That's the difference. So what can you do today to rebuild or deepen that emotional connection? There are small yet profoundly effective daily actions that can breathe life back into your relationship and your intimacy. These habits can change how your partner looks at you, touches you, and responds to your presence. Because when a woman feels emotionally close, her desire flows naturally. Her heart and body are linked. She doesn't wake up and suddenly lose interest. There's always something deeper, and when you address that deeper need, everything changes. Here are 3 simple, transformative actions that you can begin practicing right away. First, speak to her heart, not just her ears. Many men underestimate the weight their words carry. The way you speak to her, your tone and your choice of words, can make her feel cherished or invisible. If a woman feels emotionally unseen, she will inevitably pull away. But if she feels deeply known, her heart opens. Instead of generic compliments like, "You look nice," try something personal and heartfelt like, "I love the way your smile lights up everything around you." Instead of a quick "thanks for dinner," say, "I really felt the love in the meal you made. It means so much that you take care of me like that." Words, when filled with real presence, create emotional safety, and emotional safety invites desire. Second, touch her without expecting something in return. Many men touch their partners only when they hope it leads to intimacy. But women sense the difference between affection given from love and affection given with an agenda. Begin incorporating non-game orientated touch into your daily routine. A soft kiss on the forehead, a gentle brush of the hand while sitting beside her, or resting your hand lovingly on the small of her back as you pass her by. These gestures communicate something powerful. I desire you in every way, not just physically. When a woman feels adored in the subtle, quiet ways, she's more likely to desire deeper intimacy. And third, be consistent with the little things. Grand romantic gestures are lovely, but what truly wins a woman's heart is consistency in the everyday moments. Love lives in the details. Refill her coffee before she asks. Check in on her when she's quiet. Remember the little things she mentions, even when she doesn't bring them up again. Emotional connection is like a savings account. Every small deposit builds a sense of safety, closeness, and trust. And when that account is full, she gives back in ways you may never expect, emotionally and intimately. When you build these habits, intentional language, non-transactional touch, and daily consistency, you don't just get love back, you receive a deeper, more passionate connection that flows from a place of mutual emotional fulfillment. She won't just love you, she'll want you. She'll feel drawn to you, not out of duty or routine, but from the deepest, most authentic part of her being. The missing piece that makes some relationships feel effortless while others continue to struggle often goes unnoticed. Why is it that certain relationships seem to flow with ease while others feel like a constant uphill battle? The best relationships aren't always the result of tireless effort or constant striving. They're rooted in true emotional understanding. Some men go above and beyond, showering their partners with extravagant gestures, costly gifts, and affectionate words. Yet despite all this, they still feel their connection fading, their partner slipping away emotionally. On the other hand, there are men who appear to do far less, but their relationships are rich with closeness and mutual affection. So what sets them apart? It's not about doing more, it's about doing what actually matters. When a woman feels emotionally in sync with her partner, attraction becomes effortless. The secret isn't in trying harder or being better, it lies in understanding what genuinely makes her feel connected. When a woman experiences emotional closeness, the rest tends to follow naturally. Let's take a look at Mark and Lisa. Mark was a devoted husband. He provided for his family, he was consistent, and he regularly told Lisa how much he loved her. Yet despite all that, something felt off. Lisa had grown distant. She wasn't as affectionate or interested in intimacy as she once was. Mark couldn't understand it. I'm doing everything right, he thought, so why does she still seem so disconnected? Then one evening, Mark decided to try a different approach. He didn't attempt to fix things or brush off Lisa's feelings as he sometimes had before. Instead, he turned to her and said, "Tell me what's really on your heart. I want to understand you." And for the first time in a while, Lisa opened up. She wasn't angry about any one thing in particular. What she was feeling was a growing sense of invisibility, like her voice, her feelings, her inner world didn't hold as much weight anymore. That simple act of choosing to listen, truly listen, without trying to solve or correct anything, made all the difference. Lisa began to feel emotionally safe, genuinely seen, and fully appreciated again. That emotional reconnection reignited their intimacy, not because Mark worked harder, but because he finally made her feel emotionally understood. This is where so many relationships falter. Many men believe that sustaining a woman's attraction depends on continuously doing more, being more romantic, planning more elaborate dates, offering more compliments, or buying more things. But that isn't the core of lasting connection. Women don't stay in love because of what you give or do. They stay in love because of how they feel when they're around you. If she feels emotionally disconnected, no amount of sweet gestures, gifts, or attention will repair that gap. But if she feels emotionally safe, genuinely valued and truly heard, the natural response is emotional closeness. And from that closeness, intimacy and passion arise organically. So, what can you do right now to begin creating that kind of bond? Start with one question. Do you feel truly heard and understood in our relationship? Ask it not to defend yourself or argue a point, but to open a space for honest conversation. When she answers, listen, not to reply or fix, but simply to understand. Don't jump in with explanations. Don't try to reassure her too quickly. Just be there, completely present, allowing her to express herself fully. That moment, that genuine emotional presence, can be the turning point. When a woman feels deeply heard, her emotional walls begin to come down. She feels safe again. She feels like she matters. And when that emotional bond is restored, physical closeness and intimacy often follow with ease. Not because of effort, but because of true emotional resonance. This insight is the missing piece that many men go their whole lives without discovering. It's not about doing more, it's about doing the right things, things that reach the heart, not just the surface. So now that you've uncovered this truth, the only real question is, will you choose to act on it? You don't need to become someone else. You don't need to suddenly master romance or transform into a different person overnight. What truly matters is your willingness to be emotionally present, to listen deeply, to make her feel seen and known, not with grand declarations, but with simple, intentional connection. And here's something to reflect on. What's one small thing you can do today to make your partner feel truly heard? Think about that. It might be sitting down and asking her how her day really was, then listening without checking your phone. It might be remembering something she mentioned in passing and bringing it up again to show that you were paying attention. It might just be holding space for her when she's having a hard time, without needing to say a word. Those little actions, subtle, quiet, and intentional, are the foundation of lasting love. They are what make relationships feel light, connected, and real. They are what spark genuine desire, not the forced kind, but the kind that grows naturally from emotional closeness. Remember this: attraction is not about how good you look, how much money you spend, or how charming your words are. It's about how you make her feel inside. When she feels cherished, respected, and emotionally safe, everything else begins to align. Passion grows, intimacy deepens, and love becomes something that doesn't need to be chased. It simply flows. So take that step today. Begin not by trying harder, but by tuning in. Ask, listen, understand. That's the real key to effortless intimacy.